it really did traumatize me. Like it's really scary.
We'll do fake lobotomies or electroshock therapy. Took the car batteries.
I don't I'm a bad ghost hunter friend? Listen to what he does.
That's why I thought I was gonna die. I had to literally sneak people into the building. The cops show up, right?
Dude, that's an amazing story.
Why
everybody does that?
Everyone's just like, oh, you want me to hold the mic up? Dude, over $100,000 worth of EVP recorders.
Got ghost Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yes.
I just stopped in front of that door often, which was the room that he died in, and then like talk.
I would rather sleep in the Warren Museum than sleep in my old room.
I'm gonna text Dan.
Stop! No!
Had you never touched a Ouija board? Had you never had those experiences? Where do you think you'd be today? We were looking forward to this location because we knew we could only fit 40, 50 people here. But I will say, we almost didn't make it here today.
True story.
Not unsurprisingly, we had a very bad string of luck. Yeah. And we were at Waverly Hills for the last 2 nights. And on our truck, we have 4 tires. On our trailer, we have another 4 tires. And 3 of them were flat this morning. One was completely flat, and the other 2 have nails all throughout them. Nails and screws just everywhere in the tires.
So who'd you make mad?
Everyone? I don't know.
There's no way it's because there's 13 Dybbuk boxes in the trailer. You know, there's no way that's possible.
The entire haunted museum is in that trailer. Yeah. Everything's in that trailer, and literally a completely flat tire. We barely made it to the tire shop. The dude was like, it's gonna take us 2.5 hours to do your tire. I'm like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because we had to be here. And I was like, look, this is weird. I do paranormal stuff. I was at Waverly Hills. I gotta get to another haunted spot. And he was like, all right, I'll do it in 10 minutes. And I was like, cool. All right. And he literally came out, the dude's in a full arm splint. And I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, I got hurt last week changing a tire. He's like, actually, I would get fired if I were to help you right now. And then he just unbolted the tire and continued fixing it.
Actually, this might actually be more serious than the nails and the tire. This happened today, just a few hours ago. I ordered Subway on Uber Eats, and it said it was going to take about 25, 30 minutes, and it took an hour 15.
We saw a car accident on the way here. Yeah, 3 piled together.
That's LA every road. A car accident in LA. I
have 6 lanes of traffic in Ohio. You have 1 in your street.
You have 1 lane? Wait, hold on. You have 1 lane in LA? All cars are just hitting head first all the time? No one. Okay. Is just driving here just a game of chicken every day?
Did that happen in Footloose? Did they play chicken with a tractor? Am I right about that?
What?
Yeah.
During the drive, we started kind of talking about obviously we're ghost hunting every single night on this tour. We did a live show, and then after we investigate locations, we've been doing this nonstop for 2.5 years now.
Yeah. And
we're kind of at this point where I had the realization I'm fairly confident that we could, if we wanted to, without any doubt, prove that ghosts are real.
100%.
If we can send a Tesla to Mars. And we can do nano surgery on different things and black matter, and we can have James Webb telescopes that can see 45 million light years away, but no one has just gone out scientifically and proven that ghosts are real. And I think it's just because we would lose our shit.
Imagine if the world knew, everyone in the world knew 100% ghosts are real. Everyone would lose their shit every day.
That would be every excuse for everything. It would no longer be my dog ate my homework. It'd be oh yeah, Casper just shredded it.
I don't think the world's ready for that.
It wouldn't be.
No.
Would you guys be ready if you actually knew for a fact ghosts are real?
100%. Yes. Did we just find out aliens are real?
Yeah, but no, I don't think everyone actually
Did we?
Yeah, but the government even kind of proved it. They said they even posted something. I don't know.
Wait, can I just pause real quick? You can't go. The government just posted it. They proved it. Something kind of I don't know. You can't go. Yeah, I fucking know that for sure because someone maybe told me I don't think so, huh? That doesn't work, dude. You gotta pick a fucking lane. In Ohio, you only have 1. You have to. You gotta pay more attention here.
Wait, I want to hear more about this alien thing.
CIA released 30,000 pages of classified.
And she read them all, apparently. I like how this somehow became a crowd work.
I know.
Thing that's happening here.
I know, I like it. This is fun. This is a lot of fun.
Okay, can you tell me about the Tesla thing that I just found out this morning about?
So do you guys know about the Tesla challenge that's going on right now in the graveyards?
You seriously think us from here know about a Tesla challenge?
I'm glad you said it because I was about to. And now it seems like I'm the nice guy in the situation here.
I just heard about this a few days ago, and I saw a video on it last night. And on Teslas, it shows you on the screen if there's people walking, beside the car, right? So people are starting to drive their Teslas through cemeteries. And it's picking up on the Tesla that there's people walking around the car, but there's no one there. And also...
No. So like actual Teslas have like just the most outrageous sensors ever. It'll pick up cones, it'll pick up stop signs, it'll pick up barricades, it'll pick up lanes. It picks up like tire debris, and it like actually maps it in the screen on the dash. But it'll show you humans to a point where like you actually see their arms moving. Like think of it like as an SLS on like absolute steroids, like Hulk Hogan SLS.
Wait, imagine bringing a Tesla in a haunted building. Instead of using the SLS, we just drive around.
Oh my God.
Wait, could we do that?
I think we can.
Wait, he has a Tesla.
I do, and I have a full self-driving Tesla, which means I can just put it in full self-driving in the graveyard, and we can just like have our K2s out the window. We could literally ghost ride the ghost whip.
We could ghost ride the whip.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I also saw a video last night where the Tesla picked up a dog in the cemetery. Like there was a dog.
Oh, I thought you meant it just like pulled up and the dog. The Tesla just like
No.
opened the Falcon door. Was like, "Come on in, Fido."
No, it picked up a dog walking, so it can tell the difference from a human
Yeah.
animal. Is it ghost? It has to be ghost, right?
I'm interested because I feel like Elon, if anyone pointed that out to Elon, he would respond to it at some point. And I really want to know what he would say. If anyone were to ever prove that ghosts are real, it would be Elon Musk. Because he would do it out of boredom. He would just be like, I got 2 free hours on Tuesday. Let's just, here you go.
Yeah, we should see if he wants to go drive around Waverly or something with us. Inside, you know what I mean?
He was just a guest on Nelk's Full Send podcast.
Really?
Yeah. So if we had 10 million more people listening, maybe we could get Elon.
So I want to try this Tesla challenge.
Let's do it as soon as we go back.
Oh, so what, in 30 days?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, as soon as we're home exactly in January, we'll try it out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That also sounds like the snobbiest like ghost hunting flex ever. I caught what in my Model X? Like it just sounds...
Imagine the thumbnail. You're just sitting inside it.
Ryan Trahan did like 24 hours self-driving in his Tesla. So now we can do 24 hours ghost hunting in a self-driving Tesla. Oh. Just really hit that SEO on YouTube.
I'm really about that just because of the AC. You know what I mean?
It is good AC. Wait, think about how strong ghosts could be.
What do you mean?
Well, because ghosts drain the power. They drain electricity. Oh. And Teslas are just full electric battery. Dude, we can make ghosts go Super Saiyan, dude. You're just gonna see a tombstone levitating just smash through the windshield. Think about how much battery.
That does make sense.
Yo, because they have ludicrous mode, but it turns the ghost into just ludicrous.
I would like to try this.
What would Luda sound like a ghost?
Okay. You guys are about to. This is bad. This is a bad pun. Ready?
Are you gonna go Buddha?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna do. Damn it! I should have done it. Everyone laughed. I should have done it.
Well, we haven't talked about where we are, which is fun because we filmed a video here months ago, and it's about to be coming out in like from this point in time, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But it was a really, really cool video. You actually don't know anything that happened with Corbin and I because we were separated all night.
Would you like to tell me?
Nope. Because we're investigating here tonight, and I don't want you to know what happened last time.
Okay, so
That's
will you
more
tell me
fun.
tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay.
I won't.
No, he won't. He really won't. He really won't. Okay.
But this place is really, really cool. It's got a cool history, but I don't even want to get into the details of it because the owner of this location, who we joined forces with last time, was actually he felt like an older version of me, which isn't good. It's not. We were like, we're the same person.
Yeah, y'all are brothers.
It was so weird. I would like point out a thing, and he was like, "That's what I'm doing next week," and I was like, "What is happening right now?"
Yeah, y'all could definitely be brothers.
But we haven't had anyone join us for the podcast yet that is like not only an owner of a location, but also he is an investigator, and he shared with us a lot of knowledge and is the reason we ended up getting some new devices and caught some really cool evidence. And he's also just a really cool dude. So we want to bring him up on stage to talk a little bit, shoot the shit. But please give a warm welcome. He's Adam Kimmel. Please come on in.
Let's go.
The owner of Fairfield Infirmary and Madison Seminary. I like how you just slammed the shit out of the person in a wrist brace. You were just like, ah! You signed the waiver. I don't care. Here, we'll scoot over. I'll give him this mic.
I feel like a guy who had to give a speech after Martin Luther King. Okay, what are you gonna do? Like, how weird can we get? Like, mic check, all right?
Oh wait, what?
Get up here. Get up. I want to hear more about this.
You can get weirder, but like you guys hit the gate running like, Teslas, go, style this, let's charge them. I'm like, okay, all right.
Hold on.
We're doing that.
We got to circle back to the MLK thing that was just said. I'm really confused. Use both, dude.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. By the way, this is not sponsored. He just actually has them here.
Ghost, but if you see us, all right? This is like a nice place to talk about this weird rabbit hole stuff, right? But like I was saying, if you go on the street and you talk to anybody, everybody has something weird that has happened, right? Which I'm actually excited about. You guys take stories
Yes.
from the path.
Yes, we
Yep.
do.
And we get to talk about that a little bit later. So that's really cool. But yeah.
Do you remember when we met you and how awkward
Weird.
we made you?
If I ever thought I was going to die, all right? I mean that. Like, I can just see my parents at the funeral. He lived the way he died. Closed casket, of course. Come with these guys. Like a little picture. My 7th grade picture. The last time I looked normal.
If you lived the way you died, that means you would have lived with Matt Rife's shirt off in your face.
Yeah, dude.
Because that was how you were going to die that night.
I just remember, like, what is happening? Like, I've never felt in danger my entire life. And, like, I really thought, I'm like, oh, no.
For the record, we weren't investigating. This was just during the tour.
Yeah, this was a part of the tour.
We were doing a Beyond Scared straight skit.
Okay,
right?
we're talking like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I made was a Beyond Scared straight reference. I brought it up first.
That's where you
That's
fucked
why I
up.
thought I was gonna die. Because within like 10 minutes, the next thing I know, we're doing a scared straight thing, and I'm like, what is happening?
We just had him sitting on a bed by himself and they're just screaming at him, and I don't know what's going
And
on.
I'm just sitting there, I'm like just taking it, smiling, this is it, let's do it. So
You were ready.
I was ready. I was like,
From this location, what is the most incredible story you've ever heard in terms of like abnormal paranormal activity? What would that be?
the fire department, police department, they all get creeped out by this place. There's a long history of just weird stuff going on, right? And I remember the fire department telling me on the anniversary, so they said during the summer, of Jane Householder, she had caught on fire accidentally on a stove. It was on the anniversary of that the fire system went off up in the dungeon upstairs. The thing about the older system, there's a new system put in, but the old one was this ironclad system. You had to like pull it to make it go off, and it was actually pulled upstairs in the dungeon. The building was vacant, completely locked. Cops had cleared it and everything. So that's intriguing to me, you know, of things that have happened. Now, we know they can physically move our stuff and things like that. That was just interesting because when you have cops involved and fire department, these people are trained observers. Like when you get a cop that gives you a report, you know, that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But as far as activity, I remember I bought this in February of 2020, and we all know that those were the yesteryears, because a month later, everything shuts down. I got this.
Yeah, you had great timing to open a public location.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So like, I was in the building with my manager, Addie, and we were just fixing stuff, and it was weird. It was almost like, now remember they had people with diseases here and stuff like that, and I remember like wiring the roof. I'm like, guys, I'm on your side. We're on the same team, okay? There is another disease coming around. It is called the Rona. You may have seen tuberculosis. It's like that. And I'm just trying to mind my business, right? I'm weird, dude. I'm weird.
Sir, you're going to die?
You're going to die.
It's something very similar to what you've
Yes,
seen before, but worse.
I feel your struggles. Just leave me alone. So, yes. And I am the guy that walks through a building alone, you know, talking to the dead. Like, hey, I'll stay in my space. You stay in yours. You know, I do it all the time. So, yeah.
And why'd you buy this place?
My parents gave up on me a long time ago. No, I'm just kidding. The best way I can describe this, it's like I got into this about 10 years ago. We're going to college for political science, all that stuff.
You don't even remember.
I remember. It's so yesterday.
I went in for like poly something. Polygons. I don't know.
5 years, right? I was supposed to go to Washington, D.C. for an internship, all this stuff. And I was watching the ghost shows on TV. And I remember just saying, like, this stuff's just fake. It's just fake, can't be. And the girlfriend at the time, like, dared me. She's like, well, if it's not real, go out and do something. Like, go see. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. So I went out to a cemetery. And this all revolves back of weirdness and the addictiveness. I caught one EVP, dropped out of college after that, started obsessing over this, like not just going to the locations just to like, you know, do it, but like, I'm like, we're going to film this, we're going to document it, we're going to go hardcore. We want to share this, and we want to also tell a story. Well, that obsession gets crazier and crazier. Like you're kind of crazy, right? You're crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually like
a little bit. We'll allow it.
And it happens, you know, because you're telling a story and all this. And eventually, I remember I also own the Madison Seminary out in Madison, Ohio. And I remember we were filming there, and I'd been there many times before, but this night, crazed, blood-eyed, like, you know, like someone was over me and I'm like, I'm going to buy this building. It wasn't even, no one even talked about that. Like it could be for sale.
Was it even for sale? Yeah, was it even for sale?
No, it wasn't for sale. Who walks into a building and can buy it? That's cool, you know?
Apparently you.
Apparently, yeah. So that's where it first started. I was just like, something just told me this is it right now. I've got to do it. Took the owner's son outside and I was like, what's it going to take to buy this building? And he was like taken back by it. And he's like, oh, I'll give you my dad's number tomorrow. I'm like,
You can talk to Papa.
yeah, talk to Papa.
Let me see how much money Father wants.
And I'm like, it's not a no. It's not a no. So we got something, right?
Okay.
And then Fairfield came up. I had some friends in the area and they're like, yo, Fairfield's falling. You should go do something about it. And ended up purchasing this for $1.
You bought it for $1? I'll
$1.
give you 2 and a can of Ghost.
And a can of Ghost. So
$1.
You bought it for $1.
Bought it for $1. Now here's the crazy thing. When someone sells you something for $1, you should probably run. Okay, run.
Merch is now $1.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes a lot to run the buildings. You know what I mean? And you always, you know, the community comes in, you know, that everybody helps, it contributes. We're all saving these locations a little bit. Literally like 95% of our income has to go back into everything. So, I mean, it's a lot of place to fix. So, yeah.
Are you glad you did it? Do you enjoy
100%.
it?
I do not regret. You know, my mom 10 years later, you're going to go back to college to finish those 6 credits? No, Ma, I'm having fun.
So with that being said, can I ask why you didn't text me back?
Yes, I am the worst. Guys,
Oh, I want to hear about this.
text back.
Scorn lover. The last time we had an exchange was talking about starting something called Save the Spirits, where we were going to band together potentially and find other locations and purchase them. And I was like, hey man, let's talk about it. And you were like, cool. And then I texted you and then you never answered.
He got a new phone.
That's right. I actually got a new phone and then another new phone. Now, I'm like the worst. When you're this level of crazy, do I look like a text backer? Like, yeah. I'm literally just in the trenches out here doing stuff. It is crazy.
Okay.
It is, yeah. But I'll text you back.
When we met you, we could tell you had this just like outlandish, true passion for what you were doing. And like you really cared about these buildings. The way you spoke about Fairfield and Madison and Indiana State and any of the other locations we talked about, you were like, you really want to keep them alive. And I was like, that sounds really cool. Like it'd be cool to be a part of that. So again, I will give you $2 and you can
$2.
You can go talk to Papa and see how much. If he wants 3, I'll do it.
It gets deep. I think with the concern of things, we're losing our culture constantly, right? Let's get real for a second. And
in terms of, are you talking about losing the paranormal culture?
No, losing everything that we grasp. At one point, our pop culture that we know and come to know is going to eventually fade. Things keep changing. Buildings keep getting knocked down. But there's something so important about the nostalgia of remembering something. Like imagine your favorite park or something and it gets knocked down. You can't go to that park anymore, right? But if you had the ability 50 years later to go, all of these memories would be unlocked, right? So it's deeper than that. And I think we need to save these things. We need to not knock things down and make them a Dollar General or you know, whatever, because that's what happens, or a parking lot. And I don't know, we could get deep into past lives. Perhaps I stayed here as a patient, something. You know, like there was just something where it's this reason that we have to do this. We have to, and there is no room for failure. So trust me, I've had to do sketchy things to save this.
Okay, you can't stop there. Elaborate.
No, we're good. We're good.
What? What?
Wait.
What are
No, like, okay, here's one. It's not the record. I should be legally covered by now. My lawyers know. So like when I first bought Madison Seminary, now it gets easier as you go. Okay, this is baby number 2, and then baby number 3 is Indiana State. We got shut down by the county, right? Because they were like, hey, you can't just open a building and have people in there. And I'm like, I don't know anything about code. I don't know. So I said to them, yes, absolutely, I'll follow the rules. Can you ever meet another person that has bootlegged ghost hunting, right? I had to literally sneak people into the building while we were closed, right? To hold events. Yeah, no joke.
For the record, that's just ghost hunting.
Well,
That's what we all do.
Normally when you're not breaking in, but like the guests didn't know we were like, so we had to wrangle them in. Like it was like all sketchy and stuff. in the
Oh, that's
backyard.
what you literally, you were like, that'd be like if everyone here broke in and didn't know it right now.
We'd have to like, dude, we used to
The cops show up and arrest everyone.
We used to cover the windows.
Wait, hold on. Are we allowed to be here? Or
Oh
are you
yeah,
bullshitting?
this is good. This is 10 years
Bought
later.
it for $1. Bought it for $1. Yeah.
Don't go outside. That's right. It's stay in the hallway. So, dude, but right? Like the crazy things you have to do. And I'm like, this has to happen. I was like, they shut us down. They want a crap load of money to open it. We're going to bootleg ghost hunting. So one time the cops show up, right? Because they were like doing a little loop around, right? And I'm outside and we have 30 guests in the building. I'm like, oh no. So the cop comes in and he has a ride around with him. And I know what they were trying to do. They were trying they probably snooping because Kimmel Boy's up to something. And the cop pulls up. He's like, hey, my ride around wants to see the building. Is that okay if we walk in? I'm like, yes, we can do that. So I had to talk to one of the other crew and I'm like, you need to hide 30 people right now in a room.
No.
But they can't know why they're being
All right,
hidden.
everyone, we're going to do the Estes Method.
Yes,
with
Estes Method, yeah.
30 people with blindfolds on, one person with a spirit box. Yeah.
And my friend who's British is there, and he's like, oh, dear God, all right, we're going to do this. He's freaking out, and I was like, just hide them. He's like, all right. So he takes everybody up to a room, and he's like, all right, everyone, we're going to sit down. 30 people in a room, right? And we're going to sit down. We're going to be very quiet, just very quiet, and just listen with our ears, all right? Just listen. Connect with the space. I'm like, oh, my God, we're going to do this, right? So I go back down to talk to the officer, and I'm like, yeah, we can, we're doing some renovations tonight. This area's blocked off because we're working on it, but I'll take you through this wing. Dude, I had to buy them 20 minutes of walking around being super Ocean's 11 about it, casual. Like, yeah, we're working on this. Dude, I just bought the building like a month ago. I haven't started anything, right? Here's another empty room. Oh, come over here. Here's another empty room. And I only cleared one side, got them out. And within 20 minutes, none of the guests knew.
Wow.
None of the guests knew.
Do they know to this day?
No, to this day. Until someone goes like, I was there. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. We're safe now. But
Dude, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That is great.
yeah. So you got to do what you got to do, guys. You got to do what you got to do.
You know, we spoke to another owner of a location who had to run for mayor of the city in order to try and get her business license to open it up for paranormal.
Yep.
Yeah, I believe it.
Because they were so anti
yeah.
anything paranormal, ghost, spooky, spirited, abnormal. It
Yeah.
didn't matter. They didn't want it.
Yeah.
And had to run. Do you have to run for mayor? Could you?
Eventually, I think I am going to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you heard it here first. Okay, I'm going to run.
Wait, is this a
I
real
don't even know
thing?
what town yet, but I'm going to run.
Okay.
somewhere. I don't know what town. I'll figure out. Yeah, I think what I've learned with this, and guys, in my opinion, we're the cool people, all right? But when I have to talk in front of, commissioners and politicians, what are you supposed to say? I'm going to take this old building and we're going to look for ghosts. The first thing they think
Actually,
is,
I think that was really good, especially in
Yeah.
that accent.
Thank you.
I'd be like, oh, indeed, sir.
Indeed.
Here's your permit.
You know what's funny about accents? If you start throwing that, they will do it back. All right, they will.
Yeah,
you
we
have a
keep
good
doing
day?
it now,
All right. Yeah, but I've had to talk to them. You have to use very careful words. When I was establishing Madison, I was very careful. I was like, film crews will be coming over because for big TV, you can't say like ghost hunting teams. Even though
Dude,
all
you know
ghost
that's
hunting-
exactly what I had to do to get
Yeah.
a lot of like Alcatraz. I had to be like,
Yeah.
we're a production team
Yeah, you
looking
have
to
to
shoot.
kind of-
I was
yeah.
like, I never say YouTube channel. If it's
No,
a
yep.
now I can.
Now you can because YouTube is becoming bigger than
But
TV.
starting
Yeah.
out, we never
Yeah.
said the YouTube channel. We'd always be like, we're Mutiny X Media,
Yep.
and we're looking to shoot this documentary. It's unscripted. Like we just do this and this and this. And they'd be like, okay, because I learned if I ever said, hey, we're a YouTube channel and we do nothing, or they'd be like, absolutely not.
Yep.
I had to do that exact same
Yeah.
thing. We wouldn't have been able to get anywhere with this channel if like we didn't literally go, oh, we're Mutiny Media. We have a team of 6 and we have production insurance and 2 camera guys. And
Yeah.
here's our list. And we're just like, hey, so he used to do Vines and he sings Happy
up?
Birthday.
I want to come in and hunt ghosts.
So clearly we're all criminals. Okay, now that that's out.
Yeah. Shit, I didn't clear that with my lawyer.
I know.
Cut that out,
Sorry,
Marty.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, cut that out, Marty.
But here's the great thing. Once these properties do what they're supposed to, bringing in all these people. I mean, come on, guys. I would say 99% of you did not come here for the, what do we got? Do we have a Walmart here? You didn't come for the Walmart. You didn't come for the Waffle House. You know what I mean? Like, this is the premier destination that brings people in. And once you see the amount of tourism, dude, they're cool. Like, actually, I will say Lancaster has been very accepting of this, like coolest people. Like they are down with all this stuff. And they did want to see this building saved. They absolutely want to see it saved. So whatever it takes. And this is the best way to do it. We don't have to change a single thing about it. We're actually trying to time capsule it, as you can see. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Sick.
I'm assuming almost everything in this building is original to the building, or at least the era. Is that correct?
No, a lot's been brought in. Unfortunately, when the county takes over a building, they usually just throw all this stuff out.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucks. A lot of it, I'd say I brought about 95% of it in, and some was left over, and I can't tell if that was original, just brought in from prior ownership. But yeah, but that adds another level to the haunting. You know what I mean? When you bring in all these old pieces where I don't know where half of them come from.
Yeah.
They have energies attached to them that could be kind of weird. So yeah, and that is the weirdest part. It's kind of cool when you get a building that's empty, but when you start furnishing it, that's when it gets real weird.
I've heard a lot of stories of people that accidentally buy haunted items at garage sales.
It happens.
Yeah.
Right? It happens.
It really does.
What do you think would be the worst item you could buy accidentally that was haunted?
Like a Barney.
Wait, like a stuffed animal?
There was no
Yeah.
resistance to that answer. Like, were you ready for that question?
Could you imagine? Like just a talking purple dinosaur. It's like, I love you.
I
Starts
hate
like-
you.
Now I thought about it. It never crossed my mind until now. But yeah, it will keep me up at night tonight.
Clean up, everybody. Clean up the blood. Barney.
But seriously, like when you talk about attachments and stuff, they always think it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. Like there is a spirit attached to this wheelchair. Why is grandma attached to that wheelchair, right? Really, you would think it would be very important items like a diamond ring or something. If you're attached to a Barney, like you're a demon. Okay?
Yeah.
Like,
That's a great point. Yeah.
you're a demon. Like,
Yeah, you're a demon.
yeah.
Whoa, wait, now that's a better one. Okay, you can be attached to one item when you die.
Right,
is
what
it?
do you pick?
Oh, a
Like,
quarter.
ooh.
Wait, what? A quarter?
Yeah.
Like an actual just quarter?
Yeah, like a quarter.
Why?
I don't know. It's a rare haunted item. you
So
know?
I wasn't fed a script, okay? And I'm not sure if we're going on a script. Did you really just quarter off the top of the head?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you said quarter. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of a
Wait, hold on.
haunted
No.
quarter?
Wait.
No.
You think out of anything we could have written on a script,
I'm thinking because it's like
he
too
would have
fast.
written, I want to haunt a quarter?
Too fast. I'm like, quarter, Barney. Dang, Corey. Like, what? You're just ready.
Yeah.
At a quarter, but why?
I don't know. I've never heard of a haunted quarter, and I could be the first. I could be the first haunted quarter. You know.
I was waiting for someone to ask me about the quarter. So, it's my
I
time.
don't know. Okay, what about you? What would you be?
So not a quarter.
What item?
Oh man. I don't know.
Like a nickel.
A nickel go down. Clearly a nickel.
Yeah.
You would think of something that would be traded around and something that's not going to become destroyed. And I get it. Like a quarter could be around for years.
Exactly. Imagine how many homes that quarter
Oh, you
would go.
would travel.
Exactly.
You would travel.
How many vending machines you would
Oh,
be in?
vendings. It's happening again. It's straight out Rick and Morty, dude. You're a quarter.
I also think it's fair to say that you're a bit of a gearhead in the paranormal world. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You were the one who introduced us to like full discussion. I do not watch and have never watched any other paranormal TV shows.
Yeah.
I've seen 20 minutes of an episode of Ghost Adventures Execution Rocks because I found out when we were going there, I was doing my homework. I was like, this seems cool.
Yeah.
And then someone else was like, that was like rated the most boring Ghost Adventures episode ever. And I was like, maybe I should watch this before we spend $2,000 to go rent out this island. And I watched it and I was like, I don't care. It looks cool. So I've never seen those shows at all. And then so when I met you, you were like, this is like the creme de la creme of audio recorders. And I'd never heard of it. And then we ended up getting one. But you're a gearhead in the paranormal space as well, I assume, right?
Look at me, guys. Okay. Like I'm the guy that spends hours at night working on EVPs, listening to them. And we were talking about stuff, how these devices work. And you're talking about the older Panasonic models. The one tip I can give right now is when you go to Walmart, stay away from those recorders. You don't want the new stuff because it takes the white noise, the ambient. They're too advanced. You want to go back to like 80s tech, 90s tech that has a lot of that ambient noise. But what's weird is like when you review this a lot, I mean, there's a lot of weird messages in the white noise. We've known since the 1920s that there are things talking in the white noise. And I've noticed though, reviewing those recorders, they were made in 1998 and there were lawyers, doctors, they were using it for dictation because it's voice activation, right? And they were using it for notes and they were writing back to Panasonic saying, we're getting our names said back to us. We're hearing help. And I mean, so that was legitimately being said. And then they just capped the whole thing. You can't call Panasonic, you can't call Sony and be like, can I talk to your ghost department? It doesn't exist. So we have to figure these things out. And I've used these recorders for 10 years. I was actually at Hillview Manor. And I know.
Oh, we'll be there tomorrow night.
Soon. Yeah.
Actually, tomorrow night.
I grew up 20 minutes from Hillview Manor. Awesome place, right? Well, they had a public ghost hunt going on one night. It was my first dive into it. And this is what's crazy, right? Is this guy had one and he's walking around. He's like, ghosts love me. They'll talk to me all night. And I'm like, all right. So, but what I realized, I'll team up with you. So I'm walking around with him and I'm like, it's not him, it's the device. I could give this to a monkey and tell it to press record and it'll work. My mind was blown because the way it's just voice activation to an instant answer, like, when you normally wait with a recorder for 8 minutes, you got to wait 8 minutes and listen. Mm-hmm. This is right to the business. You know if it trips or not. And finally, at the end, I found it was, and I was just like, I bought one, and they were $400 at the time. They're now like $3,000. All right, they're
$3,700.
37 now. They keep going up.
2 months ago, yeah.
Yeah, I bought one at $400. I'm like, I had to open up a credit card. I'm like, I got to get one of these. And I remember the panic, right? Because I was poor and money, ghost thing is all expensive with equipment. And I remember pulling out of the box. I was like cradling like a baby. I'm like, I'm trying to remember how that ape used it. I think he pushed this button here. Because ape, just simple, like just pushing a button. He was so proud of himself. I'm like, it's the recorder. And I'm holding it and I'm trying to figure this out. And I do one recording. I'm like, all right, if there's anyone in this room, I just need you to talk to me and say anything. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. And I let it sit for about 30 seconds, right? And I'm freaking out. Like, did I just waste $400, right? Finally, I end the recording. I'm like, breathe. I'll resell it if I have to. And I play it back, and you hear my question, and right like 3 seconds, I'm waiting. I hear static, and then I hear Class A EVP comes back through. Adam. I was like, yes!
What?
Yes, it works. It's real. So yeah, then I got hooked and I bought like a ton of them.
You bought a ton of them.
I have 28 of them currently.
Wow.
And they're worth.
But again, it's like stocks. It's like stocks, guys. It's like stocks.
Wait, let's round up. Say they're worth $4,000. You have over $100,000 worth of EVP recorders.
Yeah. Talk about being like dumb lucky. But I bought them real low, right? Like so when they were like
you basically bought the Bitcoin of ghost hunting.
Bitcoin, yes. I got ghost Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yes. You're ridiculous.
That's really what it is.
That's real. That's real.
All right, so what's
That's
the
ghost
Ethereum?
Bitcoin.
What's going to be the Ethereum REM pods?
Yeah.
What is the next one? Yeah, because eventually people are making this equipment, right? They're going to stop. A lot of the stuff, I think it was the Ovilus, one of the
Ovilus. Yes,
Ovilus.
digital dowsing no longer makes anything.
No, it doesn't make. And I can't remember. It's been a while since I've used any of them, but I think it was Generation 3 people were really liking, right? If you had Generation 4, it's okay, right? Generation 5, and then it stopped.
Yep.
But Generation 3, and don't quote me on this, I don't know, but one of them is like highly sought after. Because
it's Gen 3.
Yeah, is it Gen 3?
Yeah, they're worth like $2,000, $1,500.
And it is. You just can't get them anymore. So guys, get into your garages tonight or wherever, your basements, wherever, and start tinkering around because that's how this stuff starts. People start playing around.
We're actually doing that right now. Evan, you met Evan. He's our camera guy. So Evan and I have been like kind of going back and forth, and we're engineering our own tools right now.
Yeah.
And we've actually kind of reverse engineered simple devices. I don't want to say what they are yet, but we've taken just everyday devices that we realized apply to the same metrics and like physics and responses that ghost tools do. So we're trying to figure out how to make these for really cheap so we can make it more accessible.
Yeah.
So you're not spending hundreds of dollars because we think we can make them for a lot less now. What do you think though would be like the most effective ghost tool? Like if you could just craft something right now to just like immediately see if there's a spirit anywhere, what would that tool be? Because I think I know in my head what I think that would be. And I feel like it could be made if someone just had like tens of millions of dollars to do it.
Well, there was something, this guy came, they were filming out here and he was from MIT, right?
Oh.
And I was not talking about ghost stuff at all with him. I was like, yeah, I'd like to get solar panels out here and do solar for energy on the White House and stuff. Cause
Oh,
and he goes,
for that DC job, right?
Yeah.
Not the little way. Yeah.
And all of a sudden he starts going, oh, I've thought about using light spectrums with solar to see the dead. I'm like, what?
What?
I know. And I'm like, okay. But I went with it. Always play like you're in. Like, exactly. So what have you learned? And I'm like, I was totally BSing the whole time. The human eye can only see so much.
Right.
But there has to be a way. And he was talking about, oh man, God, I know we're going to talk about this. He was like super egghead, man. He was talking about there are so many different spectrums and you categorize it mathematically by numbers where there's any little anomaly, you would have to be so sensitive by the light. But he was talking about the rays and things like that. That would be one thing. And you guys are like, that was it? That was, because it was like, it went over my head. But he is right. And they did use this giant device. I've never seen this before. It was a massive rectangle, but it was shooting massive spectrum. And it wasn't just your UV and your IR and all that stuff. This thing was just massive, crazy. And they did capture something from that. But here gets into a deeper thing, and we'll get back into the tools, is do we know that our stuff doesn't hurt them? Like when we shoot an IR, right? When we shoot an IR and we're always like, hey, come up to this REM pod, it won't hurt you. We don't know that.
We think we're like energizing them. We're actually electrocuting
or
them.
electrocuting or pulling. There has to be a transfer.
We've been tasing all of these children spirits. For every time you held Lily's hand, you were zapping her.
It's like
every time.
That would be terrible.
It's like we're dead. Like, Corey, you have to touch the REM pod tonight. I touched it last night. I'm still hurting.
Trust me. Just trust me.
It's when someone new comes in, touch the REM pod. They're going to ask you.
Wait, so that's why it just keeps going off? They're just stuck there.
It's that first ghost that fell for it. Got him.
It's been Looney Tune.
Got him.
That's why you get tickles. It's just their hair, just like.
I was talking to Johnny Hauser at the Villisca axe murder house, and he was talking about, like how much evidence do we really capture in IR? We don't know if that's an unnatural light coming in that we're beaming down. Does that hurt them? They don't want to come into that light. We tend to capture a lot of anomalies in the natural light, with our natural just camera light like that to an extent. It would be more likely to catch it on that than IR. That would be one tool, but I don't know. My mind's all over the place. There's different things. There was a very simple idea, and I don't care. I own Bitcoin, so I don't care about ideas, right? I got Bitcoin. But I would say if someone's listening and can do this is very easy.
Recorders, right? That's what we're referring to? Yeah.
Right. This would be easy. Like the EVP, I've actually tried to reverse engineer the recorders. Back in the day, I've had some of the greatest minds look at it and they're like, we don't know what to do. With another tool, this could be a simple app of saving time. I'm all about saving time because when you're editing, we edit all the time, right? I don't want to spend hours on a stat cam watching footage. It would be so simple if someone just makes something that like follows the first frame to the last frame and it renders it real quick. And if something moves, it knows by the last to first to last frame. Something simple like that. It's not rocket science.
I mean, they do have cameras that do that. They do have cameras that only record.
Okay, we're not shooting live, right? So we can edit this back.
Wait, that's like
he just said an idea that's been out for 10 years.
Yeah, wait, that actually has. Wait, do you not have security cameras?
I clearly don't get out enough. If we're just clear now. So.
What ghost tool would you make, Corey?
I don't know. Like ghosts like food, right? Like
yes,
ghosts can eat.
I did hear that the other day.
Do like a
food.
REM pod dinner plate.
I was thinking like a REM pod microwave or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like I put food in there and I'm like, if there's anyone here, can you press 70 seconds? And then that way it's like not only am I communicating with them, but they're heating up my pizza rolls.
For only 70 seconds?
Well, I flip them and then do 80. Yeah.
I think what another cool device would be, right?
That was a great segue out of that.
Or a recorder. A quarter that's an EVP recorder. Imagine that, a recorder.
A recorder.
Yeah, a recorder.
Turn the cameras off now. We have to work. So
get to the lab.
Get to the lab now. What would be interesting? Okay. We are all tied. Music is very powerful, right? Sense of smell, foods. You can smell something that you haven't in years and it takes you back to a moment. You listen to a song and if you hear that song, it takes you back to a time where maybe you're going through some rough stuff and you're just connected to that song, or it's you play in your life. We all do these weird things. You're like, this song reminds me of this, blah, blah, blah. But what would be interesting is a device that is a giant like pad with numbers of years, right? And you take popular songs. So if you go to a location, it would start playing music of that time period, right? Because I think it's stimulation. If we walk through this building now, none of us connect with spirits of 100 years ago. We don't talk the same way. We don't look the same way. But if you start even dressing the time period or talking the time period, it may stimulate them to talk. And that's the kind of research that I do. We go to locations, we dress up as doctors, we'll do fake lobotomies or electroshock therapy. It sounds kind of dark, But I remember we did a electroshock therapy at St. Albans Sanatorium. And this is when I realized there's something to this. We did electroshock actually downstairs where they were doing stuff like this.
You did actual.
Well, okay.
You're like, hey.
Because you're like, this is loaded. Like,
Hey,
how did you do
Thomas.
that? So we took a car battery, right?
I'm like, yeah.
I'm like the worst owner. I'm like telling you things not to do.
Has your lawyer cleared the story?
So
The cops are coming.
So we took this car battery, and we've got my friend Chris is on the table. He's like, dude, what are we doing? He's got little rod things in his head that they used, and we took the car batteries, the little helmet thing. I don't know.
I'm a bad ghost hunter friend? Listen to what he does.
Dude, you guys scared straight me, dude. You're like, come on now. Like, I don't know. We're pretty even.
Okay, yeah.
I make him put a blindfold on. Here you are, like, put the electric rods in your ears.
Here, plug it into the Tesla.
What we had to do for
Let me rev it ludicrous mode.
So what we had to do for filming purposes is like when we went over his head, we hit the prongs together. Sparks go flying everywhere, right? Now the recorders are running at this moment, right? Then we stop. And then slowly we're quiet because you gotta let the recorders run, right? You gotta let them run. And we slowly unattach the battery. No one's gonna die today. And we take the prongs we put on his head for the next thing to make it look like it was all fluent. When that happened, when the sparks flew over, we waited about 3 minutes. And I will never forget this EVP. It said, these are the memories. This was all captured, like a full sentence on this thing, right? These are the memories that bother me. They used to keep the bodies here. I kid you not. As you play with these recorders more, you will get full senses like in there. But this was like clear. And I'm wondering if we put that amount. Who takes a car battery? And it's like, juice up, baby. Like, you need this.
Wow.
Right? And that EVP, I remember, in the moment we're ghost hunting, we don't know what we capture until you go back and you're like, holy crap. Like, there was stuff happening all around us. I remember in that moment sliding back from my table. Because I'm like, it was achievement unlocked. I was like, weird choice of words. But yeah. And I think they needed to see something they remembered. Now, yes, it's dark research. They're telling us, but now I would have never known they kept the bodies there. Like all the things that were said, but I think it's because it's something they remembered. Had I not done that spirit would be like, I'm not gonna talk to you. You made me knock on a wall last night. I don't wanna knock on a wall. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, we go in there like, knock back. And it's like, Corey, I knocked last night. Go knock on the wall for them. 2 shaves and a haircut's coming. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So we're changing it up a little bit. So yeah.
Do you have a car battery I can borrow tonight?
We got the Tesla out back. And, I think that kind of stuff's where, and you've heard of the,
that's wild.
We've done things like that before.
Oh, seriously? Like this is questionable? Like, yes, you guys are going to do this.
No. I'm saying like we do reenactments. Yeah. Like we've done them so many times. Even last night at Waverly Hills, I inadvertently, we weren't getting any activity. And then something along through the Estes Method was about like a guard. Yeah. And all of a sudden our K2s were kind of going off. Like it was like guards coming. And for me, I'm like, whenever K2s go off, I want to see if there's any kind of hot electrical around.
Right,
just to make sure. Like it's the 5th floor, Waverly Hills. I'm like, let me go make sure. I take my flashlight out and I walk around the perimeter outside with my flashlight. And I'm like, oh, without even realizing it, I look like a guard. Yep. And now activity is going crazy.
Exactly.
And like everything now is like guards coming. It's like hide. Like everything through the headphones is like, be careful, hide. He's coming, watch out. Yes. And the K2s are going crazy. And I'm like, oh, holy shit. Yeah. And then I stood outside and I shined the flashlight in on the people inside. And I was like, if y'all don't go back to bed right now, I'm going to get the other guard. It was just like, it was on every time I'd say I'm getting another guard or threaten them, it was like activity was going crazy. Wow. And that was just, and I sometimes I forget that that's actually one of the better ways to investigate because sometimes it almost feels wrong.
Yes.
It almost feels wrong. Like I'm sure you had that moment of like, should we really electrocute my friend? But you were like, yeah.
Did he get electrocuted?
No, he's alive.
Okay.
I remember the first time it felt wrong. We went to the Villisca axe murder house back in 2010. And I remember telling my friends that were going, like, we have to dress up from the 1920s. I didn't know why. I'm like, it seemed like the right thing to do.
This is the same shit I say to you all the time.
I know.
I don't know why, but we just got to do it.
No, this is your brother.
Right. Oh, I know. Yes. This guy right here. And we can get into weird stuff on that. Like, but anyway.
Wait.
You want to get into weird stuff with your brother?
Right. We are in Ohio. I love you, Ohio.
Apparently, only Ohio loves Ohio.
But we are so going to get in trouble tonight. So back to Villisca. I was like, we got to dress up. And then the next thing I know, we're like, we got to put an axe over my head. We got to put an axe over my head. So we came up with this contraption to put a fish wire with the axe like hanging, right? And all you had to do was take a little pin. I do not encourage this behavior, by the way, but I'm just telling you. It was a pin. All you had to do was push the little, like very little amount of weight. And I said to him, you can take another life. If you are a narcissist or egotistical, this is your moment. Because I think the best way when you're dealing with malevolent spirits, you can't punch them in the face. Right? You can't.
You can try.
You can try. It's a mental game. Can I get into your head and make you snap? Right? And that's what you're dealing with. When some of these spirits, let's say the Villisca axe murderer is there, he loves it that you're coming there and you're talking about his story, and all that. He's obviously egotistical, narcissistic. Take that from him. And I remember saying, if you don't do this tonight, I'm going to tell the world. He doesn't know. I was nobody. Like I was like 2010. I got a little camera. I'll show this to the world. But he doesn't know my bluff. And I'm like, everything I show here tonight becomes law. They will see that you are weak. You are a coward. You're not even here. And I'm going to rewrite the story. And they're all going to believe me. So you have to talk tonight or not. Because it's an unsolved mystery. But why are we talking about axes over the heads? Like, I think I just time traveled. What was your question?
Wait,
to
what?
that?
You actually don't remember?
Yeah, you asked me about.
We were talking. You were saying that this is the one time you went too far, where you basically.
Oh yeah, that's totally where I started. Yeah,
you basically ghost hunted like you're in the movie Saw.
Yes,
and set up your own death traps.
I am like the worst. I will ramble. You ask me a question, I'll tell you something about like 10 years ago, like way back. I'm like, don't worry, I'll get to the point of your question. But yeah, that was Villisca, and that was the birth of that kind of stuff. Because I mean, we can even get deeper. Like, think about when people are in a comas and stuff, right? We don't understand how to bring them out. And I wonder if we played music that they're familiar with, can you open that stuff up? I think the same thing plays for the dead. If they're here, maybe they're bored. I've walked through this place and I told the dead, you don't have to talk to anyone you don't want to, but this is how we're saving this property. If you feel inclined to speak to someone, go for it. This is your home. People will visit, right? And I think if you're intriguing enough to them and you relate, like playing their music and stuff like that, yeah, the dead will come out. We don't want this to seem like puppetry or modern day slavery where like, you're our ghost, you have to stay and entertain people. I tell them that, this is your home.
So wait, real quick. The axe never fell, right? Okay.
Only once. I'm good.
Okay.
I just can't wait to hear ghost hunters in 80 years playing music to attract us as spirits.
Dude, the music they play.
My milkshake brings other boys to the yard.
All right, let's tap on those walls.
From the REM pod, the window, to the wall.
To the cat ball.
The problem is there are children that aren't even born yet that are going to see this and be like, they told us the answer. We know what we have to do. So Google milkshake. What is a milkshake?
And why are the boys in the yard?
Why are the boys wanting to go to the yard?
Why didn't anyone let them in? It's so hot out. The earth is burning now. Why are they outside?
Because you know why that's probably going to happen? I watched a YouTube video where these two kids were at a river and they dug up an old cassette, right? And they're like, oh my God, that's from the Civil War.
Wow.
So milkshake in 100 years will be considered classical.
Yeah.
And it is a part of the occult spiritual movements, right? So geez.
Imagine in 100 years, they're playing the Ouija board. It's like, okay, what's the spell now? It's like, all right, GLAMOROUS? What does that mean? What does this mean?
Having to research this and Google it.
There's a ghost in my house and his name is Jack.
Yeah.
You do know that when you pass and people come to visit your grave, there's going to be so many pizza rolls.
I hope
it's
so.
It's just going to be
my
covered.
God, yeah.
Like a set of flowers.
And that's just going to attract so many animals.
And then the Tesla
Yeah.
is going to pick up the animals on the screen. Think about it.
Pizza rolls as offerings. Jeez.
I mean, that actually, right? Because
microwave.
like right now, people bring cigarettes, you bring lollipops, and then soon it's going to be like Red Bulls.
People put microwaves at my grave. Like, rumor has it at 3 a.m. the microwave is on, but it's not plugged into anything.
See it spinning out in the distance.
There's a microwave flying away. That'd be cool.
I've noticed that people do put certain offerings in this building in Madison, all the properties. Cigs have been left, money, dollars, coins, and it's the offering. It's not like out of respect. You see it at NOLA too. They put it on the catacombs out there. And I really think, because I saw someone put like a piece of gum, and I was like, I want to be there for that moment when you're like, pulling your pocket, like, this is it. I think.
Was it pre-chewed or was it at least brand new?
Half ripped off, so they took half. They were understanding.
Okay.
And I think it's the intent you put in.
So even ghosts are like, hey man, can I get a
little bit of that? Can I get a little bit of that? There was the intent of that. I've seen that. And if you really put the intent into it, like you're giving an offering, I think it's more of like a respect appreciation thing.
Cool.
It could be Bubblicious or $1 or a quarter, pizza roll. It's all the intent you put into it. So.
Yeah, I once gave $100 to a stripper at a Shanley hotel.
I didn't know where that was going to go. I was listening.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say she was a ghost.
See?
I was going to say I did the same thing, but not Shanley Hotel.
I gave it to the stripper out of respect. I'm like, were you in Vegas as a ghost or was this like...
Okay. No, but she will be one day.
But that was...
Yes.
That was the first time I had ever encountered like the seriousness of... offerings, and everyone was like, if you give them money, they're call girls.
Strippers? Or ghosts? You talk about ghosts right now?
He justifies it off of the stripper one. Like,
if you give them money,
it's respect.
But I'm saying, I like literally we had nothing happen, and then finally I was like, you know what? Let me see what I have in my wallet. And I put down the $100, and all of a sudden, boom, 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 activity, and it was like, oh, they're here to work.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. they're here.
Another song of our generation's haunting. Bands will make her dance.
The Ovilus says that. Bands,
oh my God. Dude, if they remake an Ovilus, they're going to have to reprogram it with so many more words.
Oh, dude, the dictionary would be just basically take Urban Dictionary and put it in there.
I was talking to Corey last night. How do you know? He kept saying facts and bet.
This is an interesting segue into this. I can connect this. It's like when you were talking about the prison stuff and walking around like a guard. Why did that get the activity? Why did that, of you just walking around asking questions, but being a guard, are we living in like a parallel universe where it's still kind of existing? Or you know what I'm getting at? Like I've never understood that. Why do they really believe a guard's coming? They should know what's going on. Are they in a state of confusion? Then they see it and they remember and they're back. That's a deep question right there. And I still to this day I know it works. I just don't know why it's happening.
Have you ever seen like the 3D artwork? Have anyone seen like Bo Burnham's Inside, like actual album artwork? It's a more relevant example of it, where there's like red layer, green layer, blue layer, and as you remove a green layer, you see a different image. When you put a red layer in, you see a different image. I feel like it's something like that.
That's actually a very good way to say it.
You have layers on top of each other, but you don't always necessarily know which ones are overlapping. And so sometimes they see you, sometimes you see them. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like parallel, but it's overlapping in like a different spectrum.
That's a great way
of time, energy, existence, whatever you want to call it. That's what it's always felt like to me when you catch like residual hauntings, and sometimes you can connect through because sometimes that little layer is extra on top that you can like see all the way through.
Yes.
Wow. So could this be like a Walmart right now?
What?
People are shopping. You know what I mean? Like if you remove the layer, we're in a Walmart. Is that a possible?
Unless
what?
It's I feel
you know what I'm saying.
I feel what you're saying,
right?
Oh,
this is also saying that the past, present, and future overlapping in a sense. Corey's like, that's what I was saying.
Yes, indeed.
That was indeed.
Exquisitely.
A Walmart. We're in the freezer section now, looking for pizza.
Aisle 7, sir.
And that. I told you I came out here. This is like the speech after Martin Luther King. I have a dream. It's an epic speech, and I got to walk in and do this. Like a mic check. Yes, we all have dreams. What do I say?
That's what
I get it. Dude, I get it now.
Bro,
I get it now.
I thought you meant the speech someone had to give after he was assassinated.
No.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No wonder why like starts a stage, and I was like, man, that's crazy cold.
You didn't say the speech after Martin Luther King's speech. You said the speech after Martin Luther King, and I was like, what is this dude? Why did we invite you? This is very bad.
I was like, walk on the stage, dude. Like,
this is a bad decision. That's literally what I was like. What? And you're just standing up there like. Everyone's I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
What have I done?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
this makes way more sense now.
That's good. That was only awkward, like an hour thinking that I'm like crazy.
Dude, it's been since I met you. It's been months.
You played it off so cool. Like, oh man, what was that? No, I always wanted to see the guy that gave the speech after, right? Like, we don't see it.
Did
'Cause
anyone?
It sucked. Probably.
Did anyone?
Like, it sucks. So, like, what would you do? What do you say? I think actually Key and Peele did a bit about that. And that's what reminded me of, like, the guy gets up there and he just doesn't know what to do. Yeah, that's what I meant. It wasn't anything like crazy. God, from your view, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, what did he just say?
I'm like, what?
I don't know what to do now. We're live.
That is so funny.
Oh God, what decision did
What do I even say that? I was like, dude, that was like a great opener, man. Like,
That was so good.
because you guys are awesome. You're like, all right, get on stage, Kimmel, now.
How often do you investigate your own place now? Are you over it? Is it like you've seen it, you've done it, you know them, you're good?
You know, here's the way I look at it. I know it's real, right? So I know stuff's going on here. And there may be skeptics among us. I always say this with skeptics. Don't worry. Like, you know, I do tours out here and they'll always have that one friend. And they'll be like, hey, we're going to make you a believer tonight. I'm like, don't say that to him or her. Like, it's just crazy. Because people have to come into their own time, right? Now, I've come into it. I never grew up haunted or anything like that. But I've seen enough. Like, I know it's there. And I'm constantly around it. But now I'm to the level where if I'm not filming it, I'm not interested at that moment. It sounds cold, but like we're literally documenting these stories. So when I'm in film mode and we're doing something, I'm all in. But the problem with it is if we're not filming it, it's just a ghost story. I could tell you 1,000 ghost stories, right? That's where it came into like getting obsessive. Get the cameras out. It's going to be hard. It's a sport. The dead know where we're shooting. Like they're intelligent enough, and if they want to be seen, they'll be seen. And if they, you know, probably about a week ago, I came in that one far door, and I swear to you, I heard like what sounded like 3 men in unison singing, right? Just for a moment, I was like, oh, what? And then it stopped. And so I know stuff goes on, and it gets me for a moment, but I'm like, hey, place is haunted.
So originally, right, this whole tour, we do investigations every night. And originally, we weren't going to film it. We were just going to do an investigation. And then finally got to a point where I was like, okay, I'm going to kick myself in the ass.
Yes.
If we have something
Yes.
incredible happen.
That's
for that
exactly what I'm
exact
getting
reason,
at. That's exactly what I'm getting
I
at.
can't share it. And
Yep.
it's my obligation at this
Yep.
point.
Yeah, oh,
years
absolutely.
That we have to share. We have to document it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy we did. We filmed some nights for, 6 straight hours and had 5 minutes of just amazing stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
But it was worth it to get that 5 minutes.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I'm very happy that we do film.
Oh,
and
me
even
too.
every time, it's so weird. At Waverly Hills, we filmed nonstop. We took 1 5-minute break. That's it. Just 1 5-minute
Yeah.
break. No cameras on. Craziest thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Craziest physical thing I've ever seen. And by the time I can get the camera
Yep.
to hit record, it was like I got the very last millisecond of it happening.
They have a sense of humor, right? The dead. Come, what would we do? Come on, let's be honest, right?
he would just make
We're
fart
watching
noises.
them. We're like, yo, Elton, they're turning the camera off. Get ready. They're get ready. Go. You know what I mean? They probably do the same thing. They watch us and they wait. They know how our equipment works because it's true. And also, I've noticed like when you start playing around and getting funny, right? They think the guard's down and activity sparks up. We're all laughing hysterically like lunatics. And I was like, did you hear that girl singing over here? You know what I mean? Like it's just weird. But
I didn't. You turn British every time you investigate.
every time, dude,
Every time.
That's cool.
past lives. We were talking about past lives, right? Why we say we could be brothers.
Yeah.
Here's something revolutionary to the idea of past lives and reincarnation and stuff like that. Let's take it from a scientific point of view for a second. All right. Because when we first met, dude, we were like,
We had a connection.
we had a connection. And I knew right away, you just remind me of home. Like,
What?
my crazy friends, like you would be the one like, let's do sketchy stuff tonight. Let's get away from the cops. Like you just look like that kind of trouble.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, like this crazy, you know, your friends like go crazy. When I met
Nicest
you, I was
thing
like,
anyone's ever said to him.
yeah, I know. I was like, you just look like trouble, man. Like 10 years ago, we had like a crazy time.
Did your lawyer clear this part? Or
No, he didn't.
Now, there's two things that could be happening. I meet Elton and he reminds me of someone, even maybe myself. We have similar traits. Or is it possible that in a past life we knew each other? Because think about mathematical probability for a second. There's 8 billion people in the world.
Said casually.
Yeah,
Think
right.
about mathematic probability for
Mathematical
1 second, everyone.
For 1 second. There are 8 billion people here tonight, or in the world. And tonight I feel like the numbers are crazy on the live. Like, yeah, right. But what's happening is the probability of all us being in this space together is kind of weird. Why are we drawn to this in this moment? There's things like quantum entanglement with atoms, you know, that Einstein said it's the spookiest thing ever, how atoms are like kind of connected. And even at some subatomic level, we are exchanging something, right? Anyway, what I'm getting at is with the reincarnation discussion, and I've had many talks with people, what if it's not a 1-to-1 ratio? right? You get people that are like, I was Cleopatra in a past life. I'm like, all right, but you're working at Walmart right now. What happened?
Your name's Patrick. That doesn't
right.
mean you
When you
were
just feel like,
Cleopatra.
nothing against Walmart. I love Walmart, but I'm like just saying you get these people with these exaggerated personalities, and I'm thinking maybe you just want to feel better. I think what could be happening here with an exchange of energy is when, from a scientific point of view, when we die, the energy moves on, right? But it could split to where in one past life, you and I were the same person, right? But when it splits off, it keeps splitting just a little bit. And then that's why we have that familiarity. We have at a subatomic level, right? And it could be happening within the room right now. When you meet someone, you're just like, man, you feel familiar to me, but I can't understand. Maybe I remind you of a friend, or it's something deeper. But I think when we look at reality as a whole, guys, something weird is happening here. Like we just woke up one day and we're like, where are we? What's happening, right? So yeah, I think about that kind of stuff all the time. That's why I don't text back. I'm too busy. Like, man, I got to tell Elton when I text him back that I think we were the same person, you know? Oh, got a text. So
what you're saying, it's a possibility we could be spirit twins.
Yes, you've heard the term twin flame.
Huh?
Sounds so romantic, right? You heard that like, yours it's like with a girl or something? And I'm like,
I said
twin
we
flame.
had a connection.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Wait until you guys see what they did here. You will see twin flames. So... I was gonna die again, but yeah.
What?
Oh, Elton, what?
Let him go.
He's surprising you right now. Like,
Oh, you're saying wait till you see what we did
oh,
here.
here.
Oh, I think,
yeah.
okay, I understand.
I was like, I
now.
know you didn't forget, Elton.
No,
I know you didn't.
Yeah, that was
It's
a
like the
very
weirdest
intense
thing
night.
in my entire life.
You know, I cried while that was happening. Like in laughter, not
oh,
like
yeah.
not like in like, oh my God, what are they doing to you? Like my love.
What are they?
No,
I was like, you got me. I'm here. What are they doing to you? Is right. What are they doing to you?
You cry.
Dude, it was so funny. It was, and half of it cannot go in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
you know what?
can't.
No, but I was just thinking because they have no idea what we were talking about. Just like, you know, when they were doing that to you, I was crying.
I know. I know. Trust me.
When they had you in the bed screaming at you, it was just crying. It's crying. Don't hurt him. Not that hard.
He hasn't even hit anything. That's actually like, I think everybody here has an interest. I mean, even from watching these guys and stuff, you're either entertained, right? You're like, these guys are really messed up.
Or funny.
Keep going on. Keep saying polite things. Funny. You guys are funny. Other things you vibe with people right away. Your sense of humor is like ridiculous. And I love ridiculous sense of humor. And you guys wasted no time, like right away out the gate. I'm like, oh, we're doing that tonight. Okay, let's go. But like you can either be connected through that or you feel some kind of connection when you meet people's personalities. It could be deeper. I think we're going to figure these things out eventually, hopefully before we're dead.
Do you remember everything we talked about tonight? Or is it just like a big blur?
You guys see the butterfly effect, right? Like
I love that movie.
Back and forth.
I love that movie.
What did I talk about? All right, cool. I did that.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite. That was like my favorite movie for the longest time ever. I love that movie so much.
I love time travel stuff. Love time travel.
Have you seen
Aren't
Butterfly?
they so cute? Like,
It's just such,
I know we looked at each other. Time travel.
yeah.
like y'all's bond is adorable.
That's why a lot of it can't make the cut. I think we were just like nerding out hard, and we're like, oh wait, we're doing something. Okay. Anyway, guys, we're in the funeral parlor. We were talking about time travel like 20 minutes. Like, yeah, it could be totally possible. We can do it. We can go faster than light. But yeah, maybe. I don't know, but this is how. But yeah, that was it.
Are
So
you
it got
okay?
like
What just happened?
I just finished a full Ghost energy drink.
I'm
there.
Not a sponsorship, just actually happens to have it. I guess you
Yeah.
could say we're K2Ps in a pod. Anyway, carry
Yeah.
on.
Wow, that was good.
That's good.
Thank
That was
you.
really good.
That was
The
really
nicest
good.
thing I've ever said.
You're the Adam to my Eve.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wait, you're getting
I'm in
one.
the crowd. I'm just like, yeah. Let me
where you
bask
start
in this
thinking
moment for
you're
a
gonna
second.
It's been a pleasure talking with you. We also
Yeah.
literally still have some stories from people
Yeah.
here. So
He's trying to tell me to get off stage. He's like, okay, go, time travel. But anyway, guys, it has been great sharing these stories, talking about
do you
this
want to join us for the
weird stuff.
investigation tonight?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Let's do it.
I think
Can you-
we
can
get
we-
weirder.
Yeah.
Weirder.
Can someone go buy a car battery, please?
Right? But it's been a great time talking, guys. Awesome. I think what you guys are doing is excellent. And
Thank you.
Thank
trust me,
you.
you're going to love what's coming up. So
He doesn't know that for the record.
I really don't. It's gonna be ridiculous, dude.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously, give him a round of applause.
Yeah, round of applause, y'all.
I will say he
Graduation,
he is legitimately the reason why we brought the tour to this part of Ohio, because we were trying to do a reformatory. They said no, And I was like, you know what? Like he's awesome. So like, let's come back here. Okay, so you have a story.
Yeah, I got two stories.
I'll stay in my seat for right now.
Do you guys care if I get into character and do it with an accent?
All right, here's the thing. If you're doing it, you can't sit down. If you're gonna do it again, you have to commit. You have to commit.
Okay.
A bit of a backstory. First, me dad was super close with me great-grandfather. And he died right around when me mom found out she was pregnant with me. So me great-grandfather, knew I was coming before he passed, and we had been living with me great-grandmother. After my great-grandfather passed, to help take care of her, I was told about this event when I was way younger. But as I'm writing this, I found out this wasn't just a one-time thing. It happened multiple times. So this one day, me dad is taking me to the restroom. Since I was still a toddler, that wasn't a do-it-yourself task. You know what I mean? Okay. Before we had gotten to the bathroom, I stopped right in front of me great-grandmother's, which was my room me great-grandfather had passed in. And I stopped and started waving and saying hi to him, my great-grandfather. Now, like I said a bit before, I didn't know this was something that happened more than once, and I knew of it only happening once. And this house, every time I've gone to it, feels very heavy. And this was even before I was told about me, I see dead people moment. Okay, that was written a little weird. That wasn't me talking weird. That was written like that.
Wait, what?
Listen, it says, look, before I was told about my I see dead people moment.
What?
I get it too, right?
Oh, okay, I understand it. Yeah,
you see it?
Yeah, you read it properly.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm getting back to it now, okay?
I had when I was little. Me mom and dad have even had weird things happen to them there.
Thank you.
Who knows what he just said? 4 people.
That's 7 people. That's about 7
people know
Yeah.
what you just said. Which one was it? This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone need it to be reread, or do you actually understand the principles of the story?
I can say long story short. So pretty much, I believe she saw her great-grandfather after he passed away. Thank you.
That was so much easier. Oh my, wow.
Which is pretty crazy.
All right, well, bring him on stage.
Okay, I believe I'm pronouncing this name right. Rhiannon? Is that correct?
Is that how you say it? Yeah?
Get up here!
Yeah, come over here and take this microphone here. Oh, no applause? What the hell?
Come on, everybody!
Yeah! So take that.
Thank you.
Yeah, just hold the mic like kind of in this world, like pretty close to your mouth. Yeah.
Just fully put it in my
why
mouth.
Everybody does that.
Everyone's just like, oh, you want me to hold the mic?
Dude, no, we had somebody, I'm not even, dude, their mouth was so big, like the whole mic fit, and there was still so much more room. It was
No one
insane.
else can use this mic anymore. I have salivated all over it. Also, didn't know my jaw could unhinge like that.
Yes, you did.
Adam, you watching? Sometimes it's just to make Corey laugh or uncomfortable.
Yeah. So tell us more about this, please.
Okay, I wrote that very weirdly.
No, I probably just read it wrong.
No, I know
Oh, you
I
don't
wrote
think
that
you
weirdly.
read that a bit strangely?
I was just trying to read it how I would have in a past life.
So we know this was when you didn't know how to use the restroom on your own.
Yeah,
So
it
anywhere
was-
between Age of
1 and
0 to
2.
14.
Yeah, that works. I was living there with my mom and my dad, and I guess I just stopped in front of that door often, which was the room that he died in, and it was where my grandma stayed at the time. And I just always stopped in front of the door and would like talk as if I was talking to someone, but there's no one in there.
Do you remember this at all?
Not really. I remember the house because I've been there like since then multiple times, and I remember it's like a weird vibe, but I don't remember that. I was little.
Did you ever describe who you were seeing to your parents where they were able to
I would say, did I say hi, Pawpaw? So it was like him.
Oh.
I think that's what I said, was it?
I Papa several times.
Oh,
Wow.
so you were there for some of these moments.
I'm dead.
Got
That's
it.
Oh,
Dad.
hey, everyone say hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. So yeah. And then I would just kind of talk as if there was someone right there.
Do you know when it stopped?
I have no idea when to stop.
Dad?
I think you just got older and stopped
Wow.
on by the time we left. We moved out when she was 3, so we're talking about really young.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It was down a long hallway, something similar to this, and she was passing the bedrooms on the right. She would stop. She'd stare in there, and I would come around the corner, and I would see her waving and talking into the room, and I walked by casually. Hey, who are you talking to? Papa.
Wow.
Okay, that's interesting.
And did you ever have an experience as well?
Yeah, the house isn't that old.
Do you want to come up here? Here, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, also you have the mic that I just deep throated, so. Yeah, just talk really loudly, yeah, and make sure you handle it down at the base a little bit. That's how I prefer you handle my mic. So, all right, carry on. You were talking about your father.
It was my grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Oh wait,
Yes.
your grandfather.
Her
Oh,
great-grandfather.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I called him.
Legitimately though, actually, you have to hold the mic a little bit closer.
She wouldn't have known Papa. I would have. He died before she was born. The house isn't that old, built in I think 74, but it's old land.
1974? Okay.
Yeah, but it's old land, and it was a regular occurrence that things would happen.
Yeah.
I've had pictures fall off the wall unexplainably. Alarm systems go off in the middle of the night without any explanation. Doors open, close. So a lot of activity for something that you wouldn't necessarily explain. This is the only time that I recall something being specific to a person, and it happened to be my grandfather, who died about I guess it would be about 8 months before she was born.
Did you ever try and make contact?
No, not with my grandfather.
Did you ever have the desire to, or is it kind of just
Sure. I was really close to him, so during that time in particular, through dreams or whatever, it was never that he was that far away.
Did that experience help bring you closer together? Because obviously you witnessed it, and you did that help at all? Did you talk about that as you got older? I mean, obviously you're here tonight,
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that you're not just here in support, but you also believe in this world. So did that help kind of create a better relationship between the two of you having this experience?
Well, it's interesting that when I was probably around the same age, my parents tell a story of me standing at the base of the stairs, waving at the top of the stairs.
Really?
And when they asked me who I was waving to, I didn't answer grandfather. I said a scarecrow, which I'm sure was very frightening to them. But it was interesting that there was that kind of similarity at the same ages for both of us. Yeah.
Do you ever go on paranormal encounters together?
No, this is the first kind of thing like that. I want to do more stuff like this really badly. And
Yeah.
I say that, I would think that hearing about me doing that when I was little has probably influenced greatly. Me being into this stuff today.
You guys
To
should
an
just
extent.
rent a Tesla and go on a road trip. You know what I mean? Just
You have one.
I do.
Take us.
All right, come out to California.
trip.
We'll go ghost hunting together.
In the Tesla.
Yeah, in the Tesla.
And so you called him Papa, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Did you ever, when she was that young, show her pictures and be like, this was your Papa?
Probably not. No.
So how would she even know that was...
I don't think she would, right? That's one of those, I would
Yeah.
think, one of those things that you can't quite explain.
Yeah.
Like she said, we were able to, in her story, we were able to tell him before he passed that my wife was expecting, right? So he knew, and he was even, still present of mind enough to say, she's not far away, 8 months or so. So he was aware that my wife was expecting, but didn't have a chance to meet her, and we didn't really, she was so young. It wasn't a thing where we'd show pictures and tell stories quite yet.
Yeah.
You know, that came later.
I feel like you two like have a cool bond. I can just sense that. Sometimes I see parents and like one of the parents is like, oh, he just really wanted to come and I brought him. But I feel like you two would be like a cool like ghost hunting duo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah, look at the excitement.
Yes.
Where would you want to ghost hunt first? Better question. Why haven't you gone yet? Have you ever been?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
used to run a blog and
you
stuff.
what? And you never brought it
You
up?
had a lot of people talking about, you know, ages. I was born in 80 this, 80 that. I was born in 77. So I felt like suddenly I was like, I'm the oldest guy in the room. But back before YouTube and before all these kinds of things, I used to do
Wait,
this.
if you're going to commit to that voice, can you really commit?
And I had a little before YouTube. And I had a website and did some ghost hunting around Southern Ohio, different places, and you know, eventually I had to move to Columbus and make money. So we stopped that.
Why haven't you gone together then yet?
Just haven't gone around to it. I mean, I really want to, and I think my interest in it has gone more severe. Grown over COVID and stuff. So strict boundaries kind of blocked that. But I really want to go to the Mansfield Reformatory. That's like one of those places where I really want to go. And I've been once. Like I haven't really gone in. I've gone to the gift shop, but I haven't gone to go fully into it. No, not really. And as soon as I pulled in, I started crying, like to the drive. Like I don't know.
Wow.
There's just something.
Wait, crying out of like happiness that you're finally there, or crying?
It was weird. It wasn't like scared or sad or anything.
You were
It was
just emotional.
Emotional.
And have you been here before?
No, I almost cried when I pulled in here too. But I think that was for different reasons.
Why? Oh,
You guys, I'm scared to death of you guys. That's why I was crying.
That's it. It's because you're possessed.
as you should. As you should be. Yes.
So I'm actually curious. So like when you were a teenager and you were ghost hunting, what would you do? Was it more of like a Ouija board type thing, or
Nah.
what was the techniques?
The techniques.
Yeah.
It was far enough along that we had some early sort of not EVP, but the ability to detect the changes in electrical interference and things like that.
Oh,
Mostly
cool.
you'd go to a Lowe's, and you'd buy one so you could check for where the electric was in the wall,
right.
And you'd take that with you and say, oh, if it can find electric, maybe it can find static electric changes in the air.
Just using a stud finder. Just
That's right.
I just want to see.
Just want to figure it out.
Because spirit boxes rip through like 100 radio stations like super quick, and I just want to see with a boom box just.
No, you didn't have anything like that. Well, I didn't. It could have been around.
Did you ever participate in any seances?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, right? Because whenever we see like illustrations of seances, or we think of like The Conjuring, or we think of any of those movies, you see like 8 to 9 people sitting around a table, like palms up. What was your seance experience like prior to being able to just watch a video and see like how to do it? There was no how-to seance videos then. Where was this information coming from? Were you just feeling it?
There was enough horror movies to give you a little bit of a run, I'm sure. So it wasn't. I mean, the scene of a seance around the table, holding hands and things like that, was certainly in the environment. It was in pop culture by then.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of what it was. Now, I was lucky enough to have a really cool college professor who was into this kind of stuff, who had a wealth of information about sort of ancient, practices and things like that. And he would sort of help us with some of these things at times when I was in college. But otherwise, it was just, you get a group of folks together who are interested. You go to a place and you get quiet and you listen. Maybe you ask questions, maybe you don't. But it was a lot. I would say certainly the technology wasn't there. It was a lot more experiential versus documentary.
What's your goal if you were to finally, when you finally go ghost hunting, what are you hoping to have happen? What are you hoping to see or encounter?
Anything, honestly.
Just literally anything?
Yeah, because I already have seen, like, I see things in my house. Like, it sounds weird and it sounds like it could be like fake, but I have seen things.
What's the weirdest thing then that you've seen?
Oh, there was this one time I was sitting in my room, right? And my sister, she likes to come up and down the stairs, like real quietly, and try to scare me. And there's this one time I was sitting on my bed and I was like just sitting there, and I see a head pop around the corner, and I think it's her because that's usually what she does. So I get up and I go around the corner and try to scare her back. She's not there. I check the whole upstairs. I even go downstairs. She's downstairs sitting at her desk. She was not up there at all. So that is when I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird. Because before then I had just like seen shadows around the corner of the like hallway of the staircase and stuff like that. So that's when I said, I said boundary. I was like, please don't.
Have all of these experiences that you've had been while living in the same house?
I mean, together, yes.
Yeah.
Not the same house.
No, correct. But living in the same house
Yes.
together. So do you think it's possible that your father is the reason why you see dead people?
Yes. Yes.
So you have a different kind of daddy issue. I think that's, I don't know. I mean, like we talk about this all the time. Like everyone always says like, oh, Elton, you're the reason all these things happen. And I'm like, he's the one who's been playing with Ouija boards since he was like 9 years old and doing all these things. I only started a few years ago. So he's been like significantly more open from the get-go. And like, so I mean, it's very possible that your openness for the decades prior.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know that it's an openness in terms of a greater ability to sense something, but rather I've talked about it.
Right.
I haven't tried to hide it.
Yeah.
I've told stories of my own. So I think a lot of times that takes the stigma away. Someone who's going to experience something is more comfortable around other people who have already.
Yeah.
And are not judging them about that. So as she is growing up and she comes to me and says, hey, I saw something, I'm not, get out of here. Tell me about it. What did it look like? What was going on?
Yeah.
What did it sound like?
Was it ever taboo for you to talk about?
Absolutely.
Who was the first person you spoke to about it, and what was that reception like?
My aunt, and she was open. She had had experiences growing up, living in old farmhouses. So she was open to the stories I was telling. She had quite a few of her own.
Now, I assume you're very open with it. You're willing to, obviously you wrote in a story, so you're willing to talk about it. So that's a good way forward. That's nice to hear, because like we've encountered so many people that are like, I didn't tell anyone I knew for 20 years, and I only first started talking about this like 2 years ago, and they've just been like holding it in. And it's always that kind of like, what if other people had these encounters? So
It definitely sounds like you guys are like a gifted family. I'll talk to so many families and they'll just be like, no, ghosts aren't real. No, I've never seen anything. No, I would never let my kid go and do that. And it's just kind of cool, like how both of you and then other people in your family as well has had experiences,
Be boring way to live otherwise, right?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd be excited to see what happens with the two of you ghost hunting together.
Yeah, y'all need to make a YouTube channel.
That is.
We'll be out to
do that
California.
so bad.
Take a ride in a Tesla.
Hey, how about
Seriously.
maybe make like 2 videos first before, trying to ride my coattails, huh? How about we put in some work? How about we put in some work before we ask for the collab?
Issue the invitation live.
Yes,
All these
that's
people
true.
heard it right here.
All right, let's
Yeah, everyone boo Elton.
Hey, I'm just saying, let's do a couple videos, prove that you want it, and then we'll do something.
Yeah.
When was I born? Oh yeah, we're not doing a collab anymore.
I'm going to make videos before you were born.
You're not even listening, bro. 1990.
90?
Yeah,
make
1990.
videos before you were born.
Yeah, make a few. Make a few videos. Hit me up, and then let's see.
Yeah,
Let's do
seriously. I
something.
would love to watch y'all ghost hunt. That would be sick.
I want to watch them
really
ghost
my
hunt in
dream.
person.
Yeah,
I just want to see what happens. It'll be fun.
me too.
Huh?
It's gonna happen.
All right. Well, thank you both for thank you for sharing your story, and then thank you for joining as well.
Yeah, seriously.
Round of, I never got your name.
Yeah, you did. Tyler.
Oh yeah, well early. Sorry, so in this presence of the room, I never got your name.
Yeah.
So thank you both for coming up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, give
We
it
have-
up, y'all.
Give it up. Yeah. Here is the story. I've always been a believer since I was a child. My mom has always had psychic abilities for as long as I can remember. Whenever we'd move anywhere, we'd experience some crazy things. There was one house where my mom and brother had a really bad experience. The first week we lived there, my mom felt very off and thought there was something really bad there. Her concerns came true when my brother kept showing up with very bad scratch marks around the evening time. He'd tell her that he remembered vividly of something grabbing him and trying to pull him under the bed. She then had the house saged and blessed, and from there on out, there was no residual negative energy. Yet there was another house we lived in that actually turned out to previously be an execution place. Every night, you'd hear silverware clinking and footsteps that would appear even if you were home alone. There was an encounter where my mom had a dream where a man took the cable cord and wrapped it around my younger brother's neck and strangled him to death. It turns out the dream wasn't malicious. It was just the man showing my mother how his son had died. That is indeed the story. Alyssa, would you mind coming up here?
Yeah, I really
Yes.
want to hear more about this.
We have almost the same last name. Her last name is Castile. Just my last name with an L at the end. Wow, are you my spirit sister?
Obviously.
Yes, honey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're
good.
doing well. All right, so talk to us about the story. Your brother would have scratch marks.
Yeah, like one of my younger brothers. So he would always complain, like in the middle of the night, that he would have these weird dreams, saying that he could see something like with red eyes under the bed, and that he felt like he was being pulled under by it. So my mom was always like in that house, felt really off, and was like, I don't like it here. There's something off. Even actually mentioned to a priest before to try and get the house blessed anyway, but they didn't believe her, obviously. So then there was one night where he started like showing like scratches, so she thought maybe he would try and do it to himself. But she actually witnessed, and then she saw something in that room, like the red eyes and everything. And she was just so freaked out. She finally said, no, I'm going to find someone to bless this house. And so she finally actually got it saged and blessed. And from that moment on, we didn't really have any bad energy in the house. But any other time we moved somewhere, if she knew something was bad, she'd let us know.
So these scratch marks are so severe that your mother actually thought he was doing it to himself. Like
you would see like, because my brother was always like, he was on the spectrum, so he would always like, for attention a lot, he would do like stupid things all the time, but mostly just throw himself on the floor and be jokey and kind of stupid. But so she thought that at first, and then he just kept showing up like more and more until she was like, something's off.
Anything ever happened to you or your mom?
Not specifically me, but my mom's always had like been open and always experiences through her childhood. She'd speak to her grandma, and my parents or my grandparents would always like notice something like that, and she's just kept it with her like as she's grown. And even she used to go to church all the time, and she said, someone keeps telling me to tell that like preacher's wife that she's pregnant, but everyone knew that the preacher's wife was like having a lot of fertility problems. Okay. And my mom's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, that's rude. That's awful. But she kept feeling like she needed to say something. She went up and she told the preacher's wife, like, you're pregnant. And the preacher's wife started like bawling because she just found out that she was pregnant.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like, my mom has so many crazy stories.
Have you inherited any of these abilities?
I'm more of like an empath. Like, I don't see things. I feel things. Like being around here, it's like heavy, like really heavy on your chest. Like that's why I don't like being in big areas, and it's like feeling everyone's like energy. Mm-hmm. Like that's all I got. Thankfully, I'm not seeing things, at least ghosts.
So it runs in the family?
Yeah, I think so. My brother's like that. He used to talk to my grandpa on my bio dad's side. He had a wife who killed herself, and we lived with him for about 6 months, and my younger brother would keep saying, I'm talking to Grandma Donna. Grandma Donna's here, and like he would just sit on the stair steps, started talking to this woman. He never saw a picture of her, never knew her. She was never talked about. So my grandpa pulled out a photo of like a group of them, like him, his wife, and his friends, and he's like, who are you talking to? And he kept pointing to her, and he's like, that's Grandma Donna. That's who I'm talking to on the stairs at night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of similar stories with like relatives shown, even though you're unaware of who the relative
I think it just goes down, but it like lessens, and that's my opinion at least.
Yeah. I mean, we just had a group the other night, and they showed us a picture of I believe it was their cousin's wedding. The year before, their great aunt, she passed away. And then a year later, his cousin was getting married. Mm-hmm. And in the wedding photo of everyone kind of like at the after party, they're all on the dance floor. A professional photographer took the picture. There's about 30 people in the picture. There's about 30 people in the picture.
I got you.
And everyone's smiling and posing. Mm-hmm. And in the very back, peeking around the corner, is his aunt. Mm-hmm. And he showed us a picture of what she looks like.
Yeah.
And it's her. It looks exactly like her. I'm curious why or how this, kind of happens. Like when you pass away, are they just being able to choose like, I'm gonna go check on my family right now? Right. Or are they constantly always around their family?
Or attached to someone or something?
Yeah. Yeah,
you just never know because it's wide spectrum.
Yeah, it really is. I want to know more about this dream though.
Which one?
The one I believe you said your mom had about the strangling.
So we lived in that house for a little bit, and we didn't figure out until after we moved out that it was like an office, and then before that it was like an execution place, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all we got. That's all the information we got.
Okay.
But at night, you would hear like footsteps outside your door, and you knew no one was home, and your like siblings like right next to you. They're like not in two places at once. So
Did you guys ever ghost hunt there? Like, did you ever try to get evidence that way? Like, set up tools
no,
or
I was
oculus or
kind of
something?
like, I think I was 8 at the time. So
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I had it, I probably would.
Yeah.
But no. And so my mom.
Imagine your 8th birthday. Oh, it's an obelisk.
Thanks,
That
Mom.
would be sick. I mean, I was using the Ouija board with my family when I was 10.
Oh no, I can't. My mom, she's like, if you ever touch a Ouija board, I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, okay, thanks.
Why? So then she can talk to you after?
No, she's like, because me and my whole family, we believe like Ouija boards are portals, and we don't want to mess with a portal.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
I was like, I was like, if I even look at one, I feel like she's gonna text me like, "What you doing?"
You should try.
Yeah,
Let's
there's
get a
one out
Ouija board
there.
out
have
and
a
let's just
Ouija
put it in
board.
There
front.
was one out there, yeah. And
What would happen right now if you FaceTimed your mom with your fingers just all on the
She'd
planchette?
kill me.
We should do that. Well, let's do that when we take pictures. Just FaceTime.
I mean, I'm down. Yeah, she's always been like that. So I was like, I know I'm, not gonna play with the Ouija board. She's taught me, just don't open those doors.
Has your family ever done like seances or anything, Because it sounds like your family is gifted.
Yeah.
Like we were saying.
I think the only thing close to that is my mom. She had went to see a medium, and with that medium, they were all around like in a circle, and they were doing like kind of a reading. So she found out like with other people with these abilities, she has more energy and can do more. And she they're sat around a table, and she's like talking about these people's lives as if she remembered it. And she like, these people are like, how do you know this?
Your
She's
mom
like,
was?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, I don't know.
Wait, so your mom went to a medium?
Yeah,
and then
went
she
to a
started
medium,
being the medium.
and she basically through the medium, I guess.
Wow.
And she accidentally outed this guy, and he's like, and the other medium's like, Shannon, he's not out yet. And the guy's like, it's okay, I don't know any of you. And my mom's like, my bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You gave me like the worst fear ever now.
What do you mean?
That like, you were like, oh, I wonder if like family members just pop in every once in a while, they follow you all the time.
Yeah.
Now, when my parents pass away, they're going to see me do everything.
Oh, that's
Don't
gonna be
put that
bad.
fear in me. Don't do that. to me.
Okay, well then what if they get to choose when they...
I'm just going to feel this on my cheek all the time. Like, you got a smudge, honey. You got something on your cheek.
She's like, what's Elton doing today?
Yeah, I don't.
You're just taking a shit.
I'm just constantly.
Let's go check on Elton, honey.
You didn't wipe good enough. The toilet paper roll just unravels itself. Don't do that to me. Don't give me that
I'm
fear.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
That's weird.
Take it back.
Yeah, take it back.
Yeah,
now,
take it
y'all.
back.
Slide to the left. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the story.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Nice meeting you. And we're gonna do the Q&A now.
All right, cool. Give it up, y'all. Give it up. What was the one moment in an investigation you did that made you feel that you finally proven that the paranormal is real? Well, this was definitely when I was, a little kid, like middle school, high school, playing with the Ouija board. Like, that's when I 100% knew that this stuff was real, because it literally was a party trick. Like, I started doing it at a young age. I didn't know that it was bad. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, I'd have friends come over, like they would spend the night. I'm like, hey, let me prove to you that my house is haunted. Start playing with the Ouija board. Start getting crazy activity, lights flickering, closet door opening. Obviously, a couple years later, I ran into the shadow man in my hallway. So I've kind of always known that this stuff is real, and it's because of a Ouija board.
I don't know if I can say that anything has proven it to me.
Come on.
I don't. It's my no, dude. It's no, dude. It's my job to question it. This doesn't work. This doesn't work.
But
if
you believe a little bit.
Oh, sure, a little bit. But this doesn't work if you just believe everything. If you just believe everything and you don't question it, then you don't improve.
What was the first moment that made you be like, oh, maybe ghosts really are real?
Probably Belair. I mean, I'm going to skew my timeline of things that have happened, but I would say probably Belair House is like, it's still like the main thing that really pops in my head. Just the timeline and all the videos that we've done, I really don't remember. But here's the thing, no one can prove that it's real. And that's why I do this. I wouldn't be doing this if I just believed, and like, it wouldn't, to me, it's fun because I'm trying to find the proof.
Okay.
That is the reason why I do this.
Yeah.
So to me, like no one can say it. You can't, no one can concretely say this is real. And that to me is the fun in it. It's finding those different modalities, advancing the technology, finding different ways to question, doing a lot of the obscure things that Adam was talking about, and finding ways to go. Is there something in the near future that can prove it? Whether that actually means figuring out what the LiDAR system is in a Tesla, and going, okay, this is the same system that is engineered into the rockets that are going to colonize Mars. Like, this is the highest grade technology available to us.
Yeah.
Can we actually use, like, to me, that's where it's fun. I don't want to have the belief that ghosts are real, because that to me takes out the questioning and the forward progress that I aim to make.
Okay,
so
so
there is no dude.
So if Elon comes out with evidence and is like, ghosts are 100% real, this is how we know, blah, blah, blah.
I gotta go. Yeah, dude.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
done ghost hunting.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you continue ghost hunting?
no, I would continue, but I would want to have whatever crap you're talking about to like use.
Okay,
you,
true.
you know what I mean? I would want to
Yeah.
have that technology.
Okay, I know what you mean.
But yeah, that's to me why I do this.
Yeah,
We have different reasons, but that's what the balance is between you and I.
yeah.
Is because you do
It's just, it's so funny how much crazy shit will happen. And I'm like freaking out and you're like, that was pretty scary. And then the next day I'm like, dude, so last night, and you're like, eh.
Yeah, because once you digest it, you have more time to process all the variables and the things that could have happened, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. There's more time to think on it and question it, and that's what's fun for me is questioning it.
We're a good balance.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because you like just believe everything wholeheartedly. I'm like, but let's figure out. Like, could it have been this? And then when we knock those all out, then we're like, okay, that's cool. Then
Yeah.
that's super cool. Yeah. So I think there's a fun
have a lot of faith.
balance. What location had the biggest impact on you and your paranormal experience?
It has to be the house I grew up in. Like, it's kind of the same answer. Like, the stuff that I went through in that house, like, I'm terrified to go back there. So we actually, so I own a dance studio in Florida. My parents own a dance studio. And one of our older students, her boyfriend currently lives in that house with his family. And the only reason that we kind of connected that was because she went to her boyfriend's house and she was like, oh, this is the Shears house. I've been here before. So she's talking to him. She's never told him that it's haunted. She's never brought up anything, but he has told her multiple times that he sees an old man standing in the corner of his room next to the closet. And it just so happens that his room is my room that I would always do the Ouija board in. So seriously, the stuff that I went through in that house has kind of traumatized me in a way. And I'm, obviously Warren was insane. Obviously, Dracula's castle was amazing, insane. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, that's the location that got me believing from the start. And it still is some of the scariest stuff because I was so young. Like, there was no cameras. I was doing it just purely trying to talk to ghosts. And, maybe I let a couple demons in there accidentally. But, I mean...
At least you're admitting it now. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am admitting it. I can't imagine the amount of portals that I opened up in my room. But that... I would rather sleep in the Warren Museum than sleep in my old room.
I'm going to text Dan.
Stop! No! No.
Yep, I'm gonna text Dan.
Dog.
We're gonna make that
And-
happen.
okay, let
so
me
do you want
explain why.
you want Ed's office, the hallway, or right in front of Annie?
I'll do Ed's office.
Right in front of
Why
Annie.
am I agreeing to this? No, I should not be doing.
Don't you notice how I offer 3 variables, but no matter what, one of them's not great? So Ed's office, you'll sleep in the roller chair, so that way when you fall asleep, I can just roll you right in front of Annabelle.
No. The reason why I'm so scared of my house is because for years on years on years, it would happen multiple times a week. I would have sleep paralysis. And it was literally a nightly thing for years. And my whole family didn't, I don't want to say they didn't believe me, but I don't think they understood how bad it was. Every time that I would have it and I would go, I'm 11 years old. And I'd be having sleep paralysis just stuck. And I'm seeing all these things in my room. And then finally, once I snap out of it and I can move, time is moving super fast. Like I'm just spinning around the room, everything's spinning, but it feels like my body is moving in slow motion. Like I remember being 11 and I'm waking my parents up and I'm just bawling and I can hear myself talking super, super fast. But what I'm seeing visually is just slow-mo. Like that, it really did traumatize me. Like it's really scary. Like it's really scary for me, to be honest.
How do you feel your life would have gone had you never done any of that? Had you never touched the Ouija board? Had you never had those experiences? Where do you think you'd be today?
I don't know, because everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
If I never touched a Ouija board, then I probably would be at home right now streaming on TikTok.
That's what you do anyway, dude.
No, but instead of being on a ghost tour, I would just be streaming on TikTok.
You know, you stream on TikTok in the motorhome instead of the home.
Yeah. Honestly, it'd be the same. It would be comedy and dancing and stuff like that because I love entertainment. But
I will answer that question. This is actually a pretty good one. So I think for me, the location that influenced me the most, which I believe is like the phrasing of the question, which had the most impact on you and your paranormal experience, I think actually is, and kind of a weird backwards way of answering it, is the Warren Museum. Because the Warren Museum to me was one of those, like I started on TFIL, right? A list of 1,000 things I want to do before I die. Stay overnight at Waverly Hills was number 66.6 on the list, and visit the Warren Museum was number 666 on the list. And it was always one of those things I had an interest in, but I'm very goal driven, not necessarily because I have to do a goal. It's just, I like having goals because it's a cool way to be like, oh, there's little things that you can try and cross off in your list. So I always had this goal in the back of my head being like, I want to go there. And I always knew that. And I reached out to them like 4.5 years ago, trying to go there. This was before Lorraine passed away. And then I reached out another year later and another year later and another year later. But knowing that I always had that goal was kind of a cool inspiration to keep going. And also because I'm a huge horror movie fan, what better place to ever visit than the real items that have inspired some of the greatest, most popular horror movies of all time. It's the highest grossing horror franchise in world history.
Yeah, for sure.
And to go to the place where all of these items are and to meet Arnie Johnson, right? Inevitably, that's what ended up happening. And all these different things, I think that place, even though I didn't go there until years and years and years after ghost hunting, was the location that helped me on my paranormal experience, because I kind of always knew I wanted to visit there. And I also knew I was never going to get the invite unless I took it seriously, which as much as we fuck around and we do dumb shit and we joke around, we do hide and clap and I mess with you guys and I do all this, at the same time, there's a respect level that's had at all times where we take it seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that was translated, throughout all of our videos when they finally said, hey, you're going to be the only ones we're ever going to invite to do this.
Yeah, which is such an honor.
Yeah. So it was because of that, and that's why I didn't go in there and they were like, hey, you can't taunt. I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? It was I'm not going to. And then that's why I didn't do it, because there's that respect there.
Yeah.
Which is, that's kind of what happened. That's a fun one. Here you go.
What does that work?
It says, if you could stay at one place, stay at a haunted place for a month, which place would it be? That's what it says. It says 4A.
Okay. I thought I said Fusa.
No. If you could play Forza in one haunted place for a
Forza
month.
Motorsports.
For a whole month, you don't get to leave.
Probably Alcatraz.
Really?
Yeah, that's just I really like being around the water, and I just think that place is just so cool, and I don't know, it'd be pretty sick to maybe just camp there and just wake up every morning.
That's an amazing place. Golden Gate Bridge on one side, and San Fran on the other.
It's literally a
you and me trapped in an island for a month.
S'mores, Pop-Tarts.
Spirits just scaring us. Only way to keep
balls.
warm. You and me. That'd be nice.
Tank tops.
Short shorts.
Crocs.
I was gonna go flip flops, but
have you seen the Crocs that are cowboy boots?
No, I'm sorry. What?
Okay, you can just say that.
Oh, is that a real thing?
Yeah, I just sent them to Wes.
Did you really? Wait, you bought them for him?
He said he wants them for his birthday.
Oh, so you bought them for him, or you just sent
Not
him a
yet.
link to be like, buy this for yourself?
No, I was
then,
like, this
bitch.
is something you would wear. Yeah, he's from Texas. So
I actually think my answer. Oh no, okay, because I feel like Alcatraz is cool, but if you have a place for an entire month, I think it'd be think it'd be really cool. I'm going to say it, but I think it's really cool for Warren Museum.
What?
A whole month? Talk about a social experiment. See what happens there.
Yeah, but that's
Dude, that'd be so much fun. Set me up with like heart monitors and like all these different, like have a doctor come in every like week and just test me, do like a psychological evaluation. I would fail the first day, but see how much worse it gets. At the end.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a really cool, just lock me in there and just like feed me through like the mail slot. You know what I mean?
What if you go insane? Seriously.
I don't know.
Like that sounds very dangerous.
But that would be proof, wouldn't it?
But you would,
because I'm 32 years old and I haven't gone insane yet. And if it happened in a 30-day span, I think that'd be pretty cool. You think that'd be cool?
That just sounds super dangerous to me. That just sounds very dangerous.
And that's why you and I make a good team.
Yeah.
Because you'll be outside putting sandwiches through the mail slot, and I'll be in there like, I'm gonna kill you,
dude. No, I'm gonna look through the window, and you're just like sitting in a circle, like playing pat a cake with Annabelle. I can see that happening.
I take apart all the items in there, build my own Annabelle case, and just hide in there.
You cut out her face and stitch it to yours. You just turn around and look at me.
I cut off my skin, put it on her face.
Elton, she turns around. Yes. Oh God.
I think I would do that. I think if they would let me, I would do that. Let's pitch them on that. You're gonna stay one night. I'll stay 30.
Do it.
And that's how our channel works. And these are all the things you don't see before the video. And then when the video starts, we're like, Corey's gonna spend a night here. He's like, what? I'm like, you fucking agreed to it, you bitch. You're gonna change your mind on camera. This is exactly what happens in the intro of every video. It's like, oh my God, this is gonna happen. We fucking talked about
Can Dan be in there with me?
No.
Like
by yourself.
Wait, by myself? I thought we were going to do one day together, then you got 29 by yourself.
No, you sleep there by yourself in Dan's office. I go 30 days by myself. Oh, that's such a long time. Can I just do it in like spurts, like 3 days here, go on vacation?
It's like takes 7 years to film one video. Yeah.
What is the funniest thing that has happened during investigation? Wait, there's been, oh no. We can't say, I can't. The first three that popped in my head cannot be said out loud.
Why?
They haven't been cleared by our lawyer. I can't, I literally can't say what they are.
Wait, can you whisper it to
We
me?
also don't have a lawyer.
Just point the...
No, I'm not going to. No, the mics are too good. I'm not going to risk it.
Oh no.
All right, what's the funniest thing?
Oh, I mean, one of the funniest things was obviously when we were doing the Yo Mama jokes and the Rim Pop was going crazy. That was Bel Air, right?
That was Bel Air. That was all Bel Air.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what the funniest thing to me, and it wasn't like because of the investigation, it was just the first time Matt ever joined us for a video with Cerro Gordo. And I knew this dude as like the dude who had like dated all these like A-list celebrities. He's like super jacked. And this little bitch lays on a mattress, a queen size mattress with three lighting up kitty toys.
Yeah.
And was squealing and was like, you can't leave me, and was like fighting us. Yeah. And I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I stayed in there with him.
I was like, this is so funny because all that muscle and it means nothing. It made me laugh so hard.
It was pretty funny. He literally wasn't going to do it. I had to stay in there with him. I sat in a chair like 2 feet from the bed so he would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty scared. That was pretty funny.
We've had so many things. Oh my God. I think so many things just like literally like, I don't know, dudes being dudes can't go in the video. Evan squealing has been fun. Kyle squealing has been fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like actual straight up paranormal stuff. I don't know.
We have too many videos.
I think it's all the stuff like that happens not relevant to the investigation, but all the stuff that we're doing prior to it, I think is what makes like
there's a lot of funny stuff.
Like the shit with like what Adam's talking about where we were like scaring him. Like to me, that's like part of the investigation process because you're learning a property or you know what I mean, and you're bringing your energy in, you're learning the grounds and what? Oh God.
Oh, something hilarious happened last night. Dude, I haven't even told you about this.
All right.
The whole room died laughing. So
it's just the whole room died.
So we're down in the lobby and we're talking to like the nurse because we heard the nurse singing and like literally with our ears we all heard a nurse like humming. So we're like, okay, immediately spirit boxes start running it. This was at Waverly, and we start asking questions. And I say, I say to the nurse, I was like, okay. I was like, what do you want to do? And immediately it goes, you. And everyone just started dying. And then we went on a date.
Are we getting down with ghosts?
No. But dude, Patty be talking about that. That's a real thing.
Yeah, apparently.
People be getting down with ghosts.
It was a scary movie.
Oh yeah,
it was a scary movie. That's right.
Oh, that scene was so funny. I remember every line in that movie. I love that movie so much.
What's the first line said?
No, the first line. No, but I remember like all the other lines. I can't.
Oh, like the bad line.
Yeah.
Like the bad stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Dude,
movie.
those movies are great.
Those movies are great.
Yeah, they are.
Should we do a meet and greet?
Let's go do a meet and greet.
Thank you all, seriously, for coming out. I know most of you, none of you could have any idea what you're getting yourself into with like the live show thing. But I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed it. And truly, I hope you make friends with everyone around you. Like, make friends and go ghost hunting. Even if your dad doesn't want to take you, find someone else that loves you maybe
He
more.
wants to take her. He's gonna take her. He never said he didn't want to take her. They're about to be the top 2 ghost hunting channel on YouTube.
Cool. Marty's playing the music. He's like, get up there.
Marty's like, run.